4:30 kickoff, build-up continuing on Sky Sports main event. For us, we'll switch our attentions to Fulham against Spurs. And Fulham, for large parts of this, actually, were comfortable, weren't they? They created several chances.
Yeah, they certainly did. Started the first half, and that'll be the question mark that Igor Tudor will want answering. Was it a push by Jimenez on Dragusin? I look at this and think, look, if the foul was given last week against Mawani on Gabriel, that has to be given. I mean, you see it from there. He has his hands on his back. Do I want that to be given? Probably not, but what do I want? We all want consistency, and Spurs aren't getting it at this moment in time. But certainly Fulham in the first half were better than the two teams.
This is a beautiful
This
finish.
is brilliant. This is exceptional. I love that, how he generates the power into that far corner. Questionable about the defending from Spurs. A little 1-2 when he runs off him, but they did have a response in the second half. Tell came on. Archie Gray, brilliant in this left-back position, flying down the left hand. But Charlison, another substitution, came on. And just before this, Fulham had an opportunity. Smith Rowe should have put them 3-0 up, and Vicario makes a magnificent save. Otherwise, the game would have been deribed, and it just gives Spurs a little bit of a lift up. And in the end, could have maybe nicked it, but it probably wouldn't have been deserved.
The gap is still 4 points. The other really depressing thing for Spurs here, when we talk about what sides have got momentum or who's got, a little bit of a good positive atmosphere around them, Spurs haven't won in 10 now. It's their joint worst ever Premier League run.
Yeah, 4 points out of 30 now. And that is really, really concerning. You look now, they've still got the 4-point cushion to West Ham, but West Ham, it'll go all right. We've got some momentum, got beat heavily yesterday, but it wasn't a 5-2 performance and result, in my opinion. So they've got some big games up. There's plenty of teams there that you think, right, can get out of it. Spurs play Crystal Palace in midweek. There's some huge games coming up, but it's all about trying to find some momentum, and Spurs haven't got that at this moment in time.
You are starting to wonder, are you, whether it's one of three that joins those two, whether Leeds are in it or not. But there's a big gap for Palace between Palace and West Ham. The good news for Spurs is that the side immediately below them, Nottingham Forest, were beaten as well this afternoon. They went to the South Coast to take on Brighton. They lost by 2-1, and we'll show you what happened there after the break.
You can be the greatest of all time.
Spurs with a huge game against Crystal Palace, who led at Old Trafford, but then when Lacroix was sent off, ended up losing there. It sets up for them. West Ham come here to Craven Cottage on Wednesday night. How do you view the bottom of the table there, Rob?
Well, it's as you were, isn't it? And you're looking, saying, well, the one winners from that are West Ham. To say they will happily play these games to tick by, the tough games that they've got coming up. I just feel that whilst that gap is there and it isn't getting bigger, it'll give West Ham hope, give them the heart. A performance like that from Spurs will give everyone else hope, because you're feeling that hasn't been the answer, far from it, from Igor Tudor's men.
Well, they'll hope to have players back as they look to pull away from troubled Tottenham Hotspur. Richarlison, who of course played under Marco Silva at Everton, having a discussion with his former head coach about the lie of the land. Clearly a lot of fondness there between those two. So let's have a look at the Premier League table. It makes much happier reading for Fulham after today's win. Up to 9th place they go, on to 40 points, 11 points off the top 4, and European football still a possibility for them. At the other end of the scale, well, as Rob just said, it is as you were. Most of those, apart from Wolves down at the bottom, all tasting defeat. No one able to make up ground over this Premier League weekend.
Team news from the Emirates. Arsenal have the same starting 11 that beat Spurs last weekend, so Eze keeps his place and Victor Gyökeres leads the line once again. Couple of changes made by Liam Rosenior for Chelsea. Mamadou Sarr has his first Premier League start, and Jarrell Hayter comes in as well at left back.